Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert, that's me. This video contains things that I tinker with throughout the day. For step-by-step detailed instructions of those tasks, you can click on the links in the comment section below. I plan on leaving this video accessible for about 30 days. After that, you can view it through my Patreon account. This video also has tips and tricks that I've learned over the years. So, thank you very much for watching. Kicking off another Tinker Day at our top secret location in Cincinnati, Ohio. Uh-oh. What do we have here? Another, I guess I'd call it a supercar. Definitely a sports car roadster. Yeah, boy. Look at that. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Panther's gonna have to ride outside for a little while. 912. Other than that, we are going to finish up these last 4 valves on Red Baron. Get this work done. Probably pull this intake manifold off, find that keeper. Clean up the top of the head, bottom of the cam cover. Put this engine back together. And do the firewall junction. Heck, I might do that before I put that cylinder head back together. It looks easy to reach now. And then try to do the headliner. Get all that stuff done today. Red Baron will be a happy camper. Got the first one out in no time. Let me pull that seal out, put the new one in, and keep this cracking. First one took about 7 minutes. Let's go ahead and see if we can knock the rest of these out within 30. Whoop, whoop. Tapping valve stem seals down. Somebody said they didn't hear the difference in the sound. So I'm just going to set this here just for sound effects purposes. I'm going to tap the valve, and when it gets down, you'll hear the differences in the noise. Hope you heard that. All 4 done. 36 minutes. Now I need to pull this intake manifold off, see if I can find that other keeper I dropped, and then load that last valve down there on number 1 cylinder, and I can start putting this thing back together after I clean up the top of the head surface. Now that I'm what I would consider good at it, I think it would take me 3 hours to do all the valve stem seals in one of these engines. Again, my back will be hurting, my arm will probably be hurting, and I don't know how many keepers I would lose. I would lost one of these 8 keepers. I had to find it down in the cylinder head. So I still don't think this is a good idea. I could totally do a head out of the car in about 2.5 hours. That includes lapping the valves. So that's that. Let me find this last keeper so I can put that last valve together. Hard to believe that keeper is still sitting on top of that foam right there. Felt up there 3 times, couldn't feel it. Got that keeper in the last valve set, but I forgot to move my rope over to this cylinder. Just dropped the screw down here. So this cylinder, let's see how high it is. Yeah, it's pretty high. Cylinder is pretty high. Anyway, I got it loaded so it didn't push down while I was trying, which is a good thing. So now I can put that cap on, clean up the top of this cylinder head, and then go work on the bottom. That last 6 inches of that rope was not in the cylinder, but all the rest of it was. So that's how much of the rope I had in the cylinder. There's a car over there, car over here, probably a 10-foot slab. Anyway, I'm gonna run a magnet through this head, see if I pick up anything that may have dropped down in there. I'm going to pick up these spark plug tube wells because I got new ones for that. Then I'm going to put the crank on its mark, break out my cam locking tool, put the cam locking tool on the back of it. Clean this up, spotless. Then I'm going to put engine assembly lube in the journals, everywhere that these cams will touch, so that when I put this cam cover down and lock all that stuff in place, this engine will turn. It won't be seized up, man. People don't lube this thing, try to start the car, and that metal gets hot, grabs the aluminum, locks up the engine. So you gotta use assembly lube. And if you don't have assembly lube, put a heck of a lot of full synthetic oil on these journals and stuff, and that's worked for me in the past, but I prefer to use assembly lube. So let me get to work on cleaning this up so that I can keep this ball rolling. Fortunate for me, it looks like most of this anaerobic sealant stuck to the cam cover, because all this spot you see here that's brown is where oil flows. A little bit of oil carbon there. Most of this is bare metal, which means that most of my anaerobic sealant is probably on the bottom of this cam cover, which is great. Heck, there's not a lot of it here either. So you don't take a lot of it to put this engine together, and don't look like I got a lot to clean. So let me clean this up and keep working. Sometimes I use gasket remover to try to clean the anaerobic sealant off of this stuff. And look at the end of this oil channel, man. I had some carbon building up there. A little bit of sludge. That's not good. Anyway, it was just sitting on the ends. It wasn't blocking the passages. Anyway, I'm going to try paint remover this time. See how that does with cleaning this up. We're going to see how that works there. I'm not doing that in the engine because I really don't want to do an oil change. So I'm going to try to do this by hand, clean it up, wipe it out with a rag, and go from there. Not going to do that on the engine. So I'm going to do most of this by hand and try to wipe out all the dirt. Oil filter will probably catch anything that gets by my cleaning procedure. Got this cam cover cleaned up. The hardest thing about what I did with this paint remover was rinsing all that stuff out. I lost my hot water. Had to get it all out with cold water. It did pretty good getting the anaerobic sealant up. And after I got it rinsed off as best I could, I then hit it with some oil eater. You guys know I'm not real big on detailing engine parts. But anyway, came pretty clean. As clean as I'm going to get it. So when this dries, I'm going to go ahead and put this together. Keep this train rolling. It's noticed this rear brake caliper is missing parts. Wonder if the cylinder side is missing parts too. Of course it is. Went and found a metal place. Got some more of these tensioner tools made. These are aluminum. Super light. Haven't had a chance to paint them because I just picked them up. But they go in this square. They're a little loose because they didn't have the size I needed. But they will work. But you just gotta be careful you don't drop them and they fall down in the engine somewhere. Found them on my website. I can mail them out usually next day. Since I got so much room, I'm gonna go ahead and change that firewall junction. Brought a plastic bag. I hope I didn't knock a hole in it with a piece of tape I had. I'm gonna pull a heater core, pull that firewall junction out, change a couple heater hoses, put this stuff back in. Should be a lot quicker with no coolant in the system, because we had to cap those off. Heater hose split and was leaking when we left, what's that place up there called? Gilmore Car Show that time, a few months back. So this car has had no heat since. So we're gonna go in here, pull the heater core, and go from there. Still got this 850 amp down here. I don't think he's using that, so I'm probably gonna pull that, get that out of the way, and pull this gas pedal and pull this heater core and get this thing done. Andrew's new stereo, there it is there, flat screen, is hooked up to that power amp from Volvo since it has so many speakers. There's still a little coolant in the heater core. So now I'm going to pull this gas pedal and firewall junction. Owner of the shop just came, picked up that 912. He said it was a 67. I was thinking it was more like a 71. Anyway, he said he had an engine done for it that came out of a 914. Took the horsepower from 87 horsepower up to about, I think he said 138 at dyno that. So, man, that was neat hearing that. I don't know what I was thinking. I took this heater hose loose and, of course, sprung a leak. So I dropped the pan down there to catch this fluid. I got to change these heater hoses. I'm not sure how much coolant I'm going to lose, but I got a pan under it now. Two heater hoses made to last 20 years. Volvo, boy. And this heater hose is a heck of a lot cheaper from Laos. I'll do a video on how to order parts from Laos. This is the lower one, comes off the crossover pipe. That's the longer one, comes off the side of the head. Have both of the heater hoses in, firewall junction in. Polished that with the wire wheel. Got everything in on the inside. Now I'm ready to, well, I got the intake hooked back up. Now I'm ready to install the cam cover. I gotta check my timing remarks that I got from the tuner and get this thing installed. I'm gonna start off with the assembly loop. I got 10 minutes that I wanna spend on Red Baron, and I think this headliner is coming down. Not all of it, just the part from the second half. So I'm gonna pull this out and try to get this headliner back in here good and work on that for a few minutes. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.